Jason Burmis here, and I was not planning on doing this live stream. Obviously, if you hear the thunderous, raucous nonsense in the backdrop. By the way, Karma, say hello to everybody. And there she is. She's okay for now. I am going to give everyone a... yes, she has been diagnosed with terminal bone cancer. Oh, I don't want to talk about it more. I'll end up crying on the live stream, so, you know, whatever. We're doing it big, and right now she's okay, so what can we do? Now, I plan on putting up some more old school videos today. If you saw, I put up just a piece of my Ted Gunderson interview. Guys, I don't know where the other hour-long tape is on that. That's DV tape. And I'm gonna find, hopefully, that, and we'll get all of that up at some point. I gave you just a little excerpt from like a 90-minute interview from back in the day with Jordan Maxwell. And by the way, I want to say this. I don't necessarily agree with everything these guys have to say. Carmen, what are you doing? Come on out, baby. Come on back. She's scared to death. I mean, if you hear the storm in the background, yeah. So, yeah, no, I have to, listen, guys, just so everybody is aware of what I'm doing with my dog. Yes, we got the CBD, we got the Curacum. I'm actually putting her on the Joe Tippins story. If you saw the Joe Tippins story, Joe Tippins is a man who was given a terminal cancer diagnosis, told to call hospice, etc., etc. And by the way, we've got 97 watching. Can we thumbs this up for a guy that doesn't have any power at his house right now? Anyway, was told he was on his deathbed, so he was contacted by a veterinarian. And through that contact, the guy told him about Panicur C or fenbenzidol. And there's some studies out there with that and vitamin E and other stuff. So I've got her on the fenbenzidol, vitamin E, Caricum, and CBD. And, you know, I can't guarantee any of that's going to work if it's too late. You know, we went and got the x-rays, and it was pretty apparent one of the legs doesn't look that great at the top. So, you know, we're going to, you know, if she's in too much pain, obviously, I'll have to do what I have to do. But getting back to the actual channel and the Jordan Maxwell interview and the Ted Gunderson interview, I also was in the middle of editing up a G. Edward Griffin excerpt where he's talking about Carroll Quigley and roundtable groups. Now, if I get power back on in my house, which I currently do not have, see my little fire pit. I don't spend a lot of time in the backyard, not because I don't like nature. I love nature, but you know, this is a college town, and behind me is a fraternity house, so, you know, I try to keep the kids out in the park and stuff and not necessarily playing back here. Parm, you all right? And then I have, like, this little barn thing here. So, on top of that, I've also got Webster Tarpley that I'm going to be doing excerpts of him, and I've got Rosalind Peterson, and I'm going to get excerpts of her as well. And I want people to know that a lot of these excerpts come from either documentary projects that happened, like Shade the Motion Picture, which you can see for free over in my playlist. Please check it out. Or if you check out the Jordan Maxwell interview, it actually takes you right to Shade the Motion Picture. So you can see that there. Or you can go check out some of the ones that we're going to be having come up. I'm going to be doing a Ray McGovern excerpt from a speech and some other really interesting characters. I also found a speech of mine from, I believe, the 6th or 7th anniversary of 9/11. And it might have been the 7th anniversary of 9/11. And I think that it's a pretty good one. Karma, come on back. Come on back, baby. And just, you know, if you missed it in the front, here's Carm. You know, she's doing all right. She's walking around. We haven't been on a walk in a while because everybody who saw the limp, you know, I wanted to make sure that, you know, she wasn't in pain if we do it. So maybe tonight we will go for a walking dog. We'll see. All right, so guys, what else is in the news? There's a new video out there of Prince Andrew, I think in 2016 at the Epstein Mansion, saying goodbye to some pretty young woman. Is that shocking? Don't we know how this works? Prince Andrew's been named now for almost a decade. Oh. The gods are angry, my friends. You can hear the storm. Ah! But as far as substance stuff, I really haven't seen a lot today in the Epstein case. I know a lot of people are now pointing out that they feel like the Ghislaine Maxwell photograph is hoaxed or staged. And I even said that in the very beginning. You know, if you see my video on Ghislaine Maxwell and that photograph and me reading the ridiculous Amazon review, right? I say at this point there's so much misinformation and disinformation out there. We can't say that we know when this photo was taken, who took it, whether or not she staged it on purpose for any reason in particular. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is that every aspect of this now is prone to a ton of disinfo. For instance, can we not get some confirmation if, in fact, Bill Barr, the Attorney General, did visit that jail right after the first quote-unquote suicide attempt by Epstein? I mean, it was in the Post. Some kind of Gotti associate or crime family member says he saw them there. That's the whistleblower. Now, I think that should easily be able to be proved or disproved through the logs, through the staff, and of course, through the security camera footage that they should be maintaining for months, if not years, right? And I'm sorry, the cost of data is now so low that it is inexcusable in any of these facilities to do nothing less, right? And as we discussed it, first of all, I was in shock at the first suicide attempt. I couldn't believe when it actually happened, even though so many other people were braced for it. Because I said to myself, you know, there are convenience stores, there are bars that had better security than the cameras that were not available in MCC pointed at Epstein. This is deplorable. It's unheard of. It's criminal. And it's one of those major aspects that we're going to have to look into, like what actually happened. And when people are saying, you know, this is this generation's JFK or 9/11, well, they created it. And I would say this about those events. It took some time for those events to really start to be questioned, because in both of them, we wanted to believe our government. Everybody wanted to believe when John F. Kennedy was shot in the head in broad daylight, it was some nut. No one wanted to believe it was some kind of a inside cabal of intelligence and organized crime. Why would anybody want to believe that about their own country? But as evidence came forward, what else could you believe? And the same thing was true with 9/11. When people started to realize that the timeline for the military deployment of the planes didn't make sense, the fact that the drills that were taking place that day of hijacked planes on the morning of 9/11, one hitting, I believe it was the CIA field office at about the same time one of the other attacks was going on. We had hijackings coming in from Alaska. They went on all the way through the fourth plane going down United 93. They had to call in to Cheyenne Mountain. And as those facts came out, as people learned about things like Building 7 and the Pakistani ISI funding and the hijackers training at U.S. military bases, well, people started to pay attention. And then they started to ask questions. With this, day one, not even day one, I would say within the seconds that it was announced that Epstein was actually dead, even after the first suicide attempt. So that's what this doesn't have in common with those things. Everybody knew going in how corrupt the system was and how sick this guy was and how he was connected to so many powerful people, even on a base level. And with that being said, the people still couldn't do anything. Deep State wins JFK. Deep State wins 9/11 and the war on terror. Deep State may just win this abhorrent human trafficking, manipulation, intelligence operation. And that's damn sad, guys. So, with that being said, if you didn't notice, I'm being poured on out here. I mean, it's coming down. We're only out here right now because my house has no power. The block has no power. It's been knocked out by this storm. But if I do get power back, hopefully soon or within the evening, there will be some live streaming going on, and I will be releasing at least one more old school video. In fact, in the comments section, who do you want to see more? Do you want to see Ray McGovern, Webster Tarpley, or G. Edward Griffin? I'll take a look in that comment section. If the power doesn't come on before then, I'll take whoever has the most votes at the time. Guys, I just started a new GoFundMe today. We just fell shy of the 5K last month. I think it was like 4,800 is what we made, which is excellent. But just to let everybody know, everything I do here is for free. Don't have a subscribe star, don't have a Patreon, don't have bonus content for you. I just work hard. I'm the hardest working man in alternative media. Oh, I got some G. Edwards already. Webster. Guys, I'll see y'all soon.